All right, welcome back to the Jelly Cards podcast, where Luke, Eric, and I are spreading the love of the hobby. This is episode 83 of season 2. You can listen to all our episodes on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts, including YouTube now. And if you are enjoying these topics, please give us a rating and a follow on both Spotify and Apple. Welcome, guys.
What's up?
Thank you for recording with me.
What's up? Everybody can see all my shoe boxes and then just boxes.
That's right. You got a nice apartment, man.
Yeah, I
Good
got.
place.
Well, it's just high ceilings, really. So
I love Luke's place.
yeah, Luke's
Especially-
got a sick
Yeah, do you
background.
like my
bookshelf. Sorry. Yeah, bookshelf.
Your place is so nice, Luke.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Well, it's a little different this episode because John is not joining us. So John might be MIA for a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to keep rolling with some of the episodes. Hopefully we'll be able to keep doing this for on a weekly basis as hopefully our schedules line up. But we will try to do as many episodes as possible. I want to just jump right into it though, because I've been pretty heated all day.
Oh my god!
As you guys can
just like for
can
no
tell
reason.
in the
By the way,
in the
for
group
no
chat.
reason.
No, it is there is a reason because
No,
I
there's no
just
reason.
don't like when things like if a player. Okay, we're gonna talk about Josh Allen versus Lamar. And what really upsets me is the same stuff that was happening in baseball, and why I always was getting upset about the
Oh, man.
Ohtani stuff, is when the person who shouldn't deserve the MVP wins the MVP. And
According
obviously
to you.
Josh Allen has not won it, according to me.
Yeah.
And of course Josh Allen has not won the MVP, but what really upsets me is that he is the
boy.
front runner for MVP over Lamar Jackson. I think that is completely absurd. I don't understand how Lamar is not just going to run away with it, but I wanted to talk about it because I've been thinking about this all day. I've been waiting to
absurd
record
the right
so
word?
we
Is
could
it
talk
really
about it.
absurd if he wins?
In my opinion, yeah. Like
All right.
in my opinion, he
Absurd.
had a great season. Like I think he had a great season. Like just like Joe Burrow had a really great season. Saquon had a really great season. But Lamar, I think Lamar is ahead of all of them. And in my opinion, it's almost
by some
by a
counting
lot.
stance. Yeah, he's counting
by historic stance.
Yeah,
by a historical
counting-
stance. Like he's
counting stance. Like
So-
hey, Caleb Williams had a historic Bears season.
okay,
By-
Bears season.
By the same stats that you want to like, the same stats that are impressive.
There's a difference
Yeah, but
between
he
he
didn't-
had
Yeah.
by his team
Yes,
standards
yes,
or by the NFL at
correct.
in,
But
as a
my point
historic
is that they're
season.
counting. It's just sort of counting. And
But
if you want to
so-
use the counting stance, he didn't have a 1K rusher, didn't have a 1K receiver. Average average 3 points per drive. Josh Allen this
Josh
year.
Allen had a 1K running back.
You know, he didn't. Well, then Dan Orlovsky's
James
dropped.
Cook.
But
James Cook rushed for over
I think-
1,000 yards.
Wasn't
and
that
he
just for the
tied-
first 16 games? So when
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, neither do I.
I see.
Well, when
I'm
you-
not
when you
getting
go
upset
on-
about this. I think this is like more of a semantics thing. I think they should just probably
Yeah,
introduce
splitting
another.
hairs.
Yeah, they should just introduce another award. Like I said for Judge and Ohtani in the group chat, you guys were arguing what the word valuable means. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson obviously had an amazing year, and he's an amazing quarterback. Duh. But in terms of just value to a team, one player per, the Ravens were better as a team than the Bills were as a team. That's the argument. That's the argument for Josh Allen. And Josh Allen has now done more with less, even though both teams are in the playoffs. Both teams, like, again, Luke says, splitting hairs. Like, but you have to do that. I'm not going to be upset. They should just introduce another award. They need a most outstanding player or like something like that. Like, and then most valuable. Or this is always going to happen. Because I think there's enough good quarterback. Yeah. There's enough good quarterback play now, finally, where this is going to be a thing. You know? Like
Yeah,
Mahomes
well,
wasn't
Yeah.
even in the top 5, right? Like, you know. So it's
No,
like,
I
and you know,
don't even.
you would,
Well,
and
it's
some people probably thought he was gonna just go bang, 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 just MVP every year. But no, I think there's enough good quarterbacks where this is always going to be a thing, and people
Yeah.
like you are going to get upset. See, the only reason
I'm
if
only
I
going
if
to
I
get
would
ups.
the only reason I would be upset is if Lamar Jackson was Caleb Williams. So
Yeah,
let me just
which is
I would
understandable.
feel
Like,
I would feel your pain
Yeah.
if like we were in this position as Bears fans and Caleb Williams was doing something like Lamar Jackson and he was getting screwed. I just think it's an interesting argument in semantics.
well, I mean, I agree with even what Luke brought up in the chat about Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow had almost 5,000 passing yards. I think what was his TDs? I think he had over 40 as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think he might have had the most touchdown passes in the season too, and he only had I think 8 interceptions. But obviously he doesn't have the
That's
rushing,
what I mean.
the
It's
rushing
gonna go-
yards or rushing touchdowns. So it's getting to a point where yes, like
Four
it is going to be a
quarterbacks in
lot
the
of
AFC alone
yeah.
that are all going to be within what, like 100 to 200 betting points of each other when the MVP
Yeah, I think-
odds roll next year. Like,
Yeah,
it's going
he
to
had
be those four
43 touchdown passes to
as
only
like
9
your first four
interceptions.
favorites: Mahomes, Jackson, Allen,
Yeah.
and Burrow. Which is like, and all four of them are probably fair bets, honestly.
But I think when you
So it's
break it
crazy.
down and when you look at Lamar and you look at what Lamar did and what I sent you guys in the chat, because what the video that you sent and what the first argument he made was, oh, this is the historic team that or stats that the Bills were putting up. But if you want
It
to
was
talk,
like historic team scoring stats, though. So it was like, that's like what these people care about is like, and Allen has less total turnovers.
sure,
Which
okay.
is like, and that's always been his
Yeah.
like. So I think that he's probably getting maybe an unfair bonus. Like, he's finally gone through a year and he didn't like throw the crippling.
Well, and that's a
Key
good point that you just
picks
brought
or
up,
whatever.
because I think a lot of analysts or a lot of people were waiting for the season that Josh Allen wasn't going to throw 15 plus interceptions and he was finally going to have that MVP caliber season, and now everybody just wants him to win the MVP because, like you said, he didn't turn the ball over a lot. But I think what
I mean,
it comes
and
down
he had
to
like,
is
what? He had like, what, 12 rushing touchdowns this year, too?
he did
So
have 12.
that's,
Yes,
like,
he did have 12
crazy.
rushing touchdowns, which was a
Also, there's
lot.
probably Lamar
I mean-
fatigue. Like that comes into play with any sport.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got the same. He's got MJ. He's got the MJ syndrome
That's
a
why
little
Jokic
bit.
didn't win MVP however many years in a row. He won it, what was it, like 2 years in a row instead of 3? Because they gave it to somebody else. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and then
Did Lamar only win one MVP so far?
No, he's won
No,
two.
he won last year too.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. There might be Lamar fatigue, and Josh Allen is just making it difficult for people to choose Lamar.
Do you think if the Eagles would have played Saquon the last game and
No.
Saquon would have like broke
No.
the record,
No.
would he be able to have that argument to be
No.
MVP?
No, I don't. Chris Johnson didn't win MVP when he went CJ2K, did he?
No, I
Yeah,
don't think
so-
so.
I don't
Has
think
any
so.
other
And-
position than a
And
quarterback
that was
won
like
it in the past?
and that was in an era when people sort of cared
20
about
years?
running backs.
Yeah, who was the last running back to win MVP?
or just non-quarterback.
Well, wide receivers never. And I thought, I was with the way Jamar Chase was playing this year, I thought.
Actually,
I was like,
I don't
man.
know that off the top of my head. I should.
Yeah,
know
I
that
don't.
just
I
as,
actually
like,
don't know when
general
the last
trivia
one.
knowledge.
But the argument that I make for Lamar and why I truly believe that he should be it. I mean, what like the articles that I sent you guys in the chat when I was making my argument. You're talking about a quarterback.
It was AP.
Oh, yeah. That should have been
That
easy.
should have been like just an easy guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, but that he might have won it the same. I don't know when CJ2K went. When was that? Like
Oh,
No, that-
09 or
that
something?
doesn't. I was going to
early?
guess 09. I don't know if it was that. That was crazy because I had him on my fantasy team, and that was one of the very first years I started playing fantasy, and I was like, "This is easy. This is so easy." Like,
So let me ask you this then.
oh, and then
like
in
when
12 he AP went for over 2,000 yards.
yeah. Well, Chris Johnson still holds the record.
Oh, that's no, Eric Dickerson holds the record. AP was just short. He was like 10 yards short.
You're right.
He was
you're
8
right,
yards
you're right.
short. 8
You're
yards
right.
short of the record, which is crazy. I'm surprised. That's kind of lame. Like, the guy has a chance at like history, and you just
You talking about AP or are you talking
I
about?
don't know. You see, no, I'm talking about Saquon. He would have definitely gotten it.
Oh, yeah.
And he would have definitely gotten it. You know,
so that's why I brought up would he
But then
be
you
in
look
the
at Christian
MVP
Watson,
talk?
so then you're like, oh yeah, I guess that's maybe a good why you don't play him. But whatever. Then you're like, whatever. It's football.
So what do you think this does about their trading card values, Jason?
I mean, personally, when I was looking on eBay and I was looking at, Josh Allen right now, if you compare the two, him and Lamar, Josh Allen's cards are selling higher, at least for some like his base cards, like his base rookies, they're selling higher than Lamar's. Josh Allen still had, where was it at? He had a Prism rookie card, where I'm trying to find, okay, on January 6th, his 2018 Prism, just his base Prism rookie in a PSA 10, sold on auction for $365. Just the base.
Dope.
Nobody wants base rookies anymore, but somebody on January 6th, somebody on January 6th went $365 for just. But this
was
is
it an
again.
auction
That's what
or
I'm
was
saying.
it just like a purchase?
No, it was 46 bids on an auction.
Oh, so there were multiple people who claimed to
wanted
want
this
base cards.
So I think either people are realizing that Josh Allen is going to win the MVP because he's the front runner and obviously in all the odds, and everyone's buying him right now, hoping that he's going to win MVP. Or I think everyone's looking at, or hobbyists are out there looking at this and going, the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. Because why else would you pay $365 for just a base Prism rookie of his if you don't think...
Was it the only one that was on the market or something, maybe?
Jason, what do you think that card should be worth? Take away the end of season hype. What?
Maybe in the 200s, upper 100s in the 200s, because if you look at his optic, if you just go to his optic rated rookie, actually his paper Donruss in a PSA 10 sold for $198.50. Lamar and just paper Donruss rated rookies like 120 something, which is still pretty high because like who's collecting those? Like you're obviously collecting that because I'm guessing you're just gonna set that card aside and just career hold it is my guess. But I don't think I personally think so Josh Allen had one on the January 6th, a rated rookie optic as well, PSA 10, sell for $375.
Yesterday.
Like that just seems very high to me. Like that seems very high. I would have to look up Mahomes.
And
I wonder what Patrick Mahomes
if the Bills win the Super Bowl,
or just compare that exact same card to 1 year.
If the Bills win the Super Bowl, how much do you think that card is worth?
It actually could
Does it cover the eBay fees? If it covers the eBay fees, then it's worth it.
Honestly, if he wins the Super Bowl, I would see that card obviously surpassing 400 and potentially making its way to like around 450.
I feel like that's a stupid buy because what I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't use the word stupid, but maybe not something I would do because.
Yeah, bro, that was me who won that auction.
Well, then
Jason got me all pissed off, so I just bought the card.
That's right. You're welcome.
So go ahead and insult me.
What I'm thinking is that these people that are buying these cards are either waiting for him to win the MVP or win the Super Bowl at the end of the year. They're not long-term holders. I'm making that assumption right now. And if they're banking on...
But do you see that flipping? Like, do you see that making profit?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, ideally, all of the values of Josh Allen's cards will go up. How much? I don't know. But what I would be thinking about is comparing that to if I'm just going to make a straight bet on the Bills to win the Super Bowl, what are the odds on that? Like plus 200? I don't even know. I'm just going to guess plus
Oh yeah, I
plus
mean, I didn't even
250
think
or
about
whatever.
those. I
So
didn't
that's
even think
two and a
about.
half times the value of whatever bet I'm making. Granted, all of that money
Yeah,
goes away if the Bills lose, so there's nothing to hold on to if
they
they
should.
don't win. So, there's that caveat with forming that type of plan. But
Well, wait a
that's
minute.
what
I
would be
can give
going
you
through my
odds
head
right
is,
now.
should I, like, if I'm spending $300 on a Josh Allen card, how much is it going to go up if they win the Super Bowl? How much is it going to go up if they win the MVP? How much is it going to go up or stay the same or go down if neither of those things happen? Versus what if I just place a bet on the Bills?
So if you go back on, and I'm on PSA's website, if you actually go back to just the beginning of the season, back in September, that card, so his Donruss, just his base Donruss rated rookie optic, was selling for $235.25. So it's gone up a lot. Now it's selling for almost $400, and we're at the end of the season. We're going into the playoffs. So I mean, yeah, you might actually be able to buy it now, and if it goes to the playoffs, flip it for like maybe $50 more than what you. But my thing is if you're already paying that much for the card, and you saw what it was worth at at beginning of the season. Say they lose to the Broncos in the wild card. There goes that market. That card is going to tank after that, and you're probably going to be back to sitting around, maybe the low 200s like it was back on September 1st. So it's very risky when you start to look at players like Josh Allen or Lamar and buy into it in hopes that in a couple weeks you're going to flip the card.
Yeah,
I mean,
but the counterpoint to that and to what I was saying, so if you remove the assumption that these people that are buying aren't going to necessarily flip during this postseason or after the Super Bowl, they might be holding the card for many years thinking, okay, Josh Allen is going to win. If he doesn't win the MVP this year, then he's going to win it at least one or two more times. He's probably going to win a Super Bowl. So they're in it for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
That's
right.
my guess. I
That's a
haven't bought
decent
many Josh
bet.
Allen cards, but I'm just trying to think through making that purchase. I both sides of the assessment.
Bills
because
are
I'm trying to
Bills are plus 600 right now
Then I
to win the
then
Super Bowl.
I would bet the Bills to win the Super Bowl versus buying the card that Chief mentioned. I feel like that's good value.
what's the Ravens at?
Ravens are just above them at plus 550.
Yeah, I would take the Bills.
Chiefs are plus 370. Lions are plus 320.
If I'm gambling, I would take the Bills.
And where are the Chiefs at?
Chiefs are second, plus 370.
Second. So who's first? The Eagles?
The Lions.
Oh, the Lions. Okay.
Probably because their path to the Super Bowl is easier.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say it's definitely the NFC's looking easier. I mean, the Lions have what? They'll end up playing
The
either
AFC. The AFC is super top heavy.
Yeah.
It's like that's sort of how the Vegas is viewing it.
Yeah, I have no idea how good
Because
these
you
teams are,
got-
but I'm just thinking that those if the Lions have better odds, meaning that Vegas sees that they're more likely to win, tells me that their path is like they have fewer chances to lose than the Chiefs do, and their likelihood is lower to lose.
Yeah, because those three AFC teams after the Lions eventually have to beat up each other. That's why, and it's really like null and void because they have it's NFC, AFC, 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 NFC, and then the last three teams are AFC, AFC, AFC to win the Super Bowl. So like the AFC's super top heavy to Vegas. So that's why the Lions are ahead because like I think it's mostly just because only one of those three teams can come out to play in the Super Bowl anyways. So like
I mean, yeah, personally I think the Lions look like the best team going into the playoffs.
To Luke's point, especially 100%. if Love's hurt and Watson's now hurt, like I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts guy. You two can, fight for shake and bakes, love, hug and kisses. I'm not a big shake and bake guy either.
That's why that right there is why I want him to win, because he just gets people angry.
Oh, I'm not
Hey man,
angry. I'm not angry.
You
It's just like
can't sleep on it. You can't sleep on it. Like once he got to the Buccaneers, man, he's playing really well. I mean, he turns the ball over a lot, but that's just because he's slinging it. He's a gunslinger.
Him, Darnold, Geno Smith, like 10 years in, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I know what's going on. You know, a couple team changes.
He had 45. I think he had 4,500 passing yards this season, man.
Counting stats, baby. We love them.
That's right.
That's right.
I know. John's pissed because Trask never hitting the field.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it helps that the Bucs are playing in a terrible.
I'm not super worried
division.
about John's feelings about Kyle Trask because
Kyle Trash.
He was given ample warning about that. So.
Yeah, John's his football investments have not been good lately. His poor Daniel Jones, man. Kyle Trask.
It's because you pick on him, and then if he feels like he has to double down.
That's right. He wants to prove us wrong.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
He wants to be so right that
it's your fault that he does this, Jason. It's
that's not. How's that my fault?
It's 100%
You were the
your
Joker
fault.
to his Batman, or actually vice versa, because John's the one that's going crazy.
It's true.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I just want to go back to when talking about Josh Allen's rated rookie because I was interested to see what Patrick Mahomes, his rated rookie optic is selling for, and a PSA 10, his last one sold on January 7th, according to PSA's website, for $1,150.50. Boy,
that's a little.
Boy,
that's a little insane to me because I would think that there would just be so many PSA 10s of that card.
Yeah, I wonder
where it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't do those numbers because how is that market being? I guess every single person in Kansas City is just like, I don't even like cards, but I like him, so let's get it.
If this is accurate on PSA's website, in PSA 10, there's 4,659 PSA 10s of that card.
That actually doesn't feel like that much. Am I way off in that? Is that a lot?
I don't know. That seems like a lot for the cards to be selling for $1,000, more than $1,000. I mean, I don't know. It's probably maybe not a lot because PSA 9s are at 4,176. I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's a lot for just his base. And then, but do you think either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen could get to that? Like, okay, if you're buying Josh Allen's card at $375 right now, his optic rated rookie, is it smart to just not sell him and just career hold him?
One of those two quarterbacks is going to have to go through the other two quarterbacks 2 or 3 years in a row for one of those quarterbacks' cards to reach Mahomes. Does that make sense? So say Josh Allen's going to have to take out Lamar, take out Mahomes, win the Super Bowl this year, and then maybe another year or 2 more years after that before Josh Allen's cards would reach Mahomes's.
Take away the Super Bowls for Mahomes. Who's out of the 3? If you take away the Super Bowls from Mahomes, just regular, is Mahomes better than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? Like, is he the overall better quarterback, or is it the Super Bowls is what's causing Mahomes to have a $1,000 base rookie card?
I think the Super Bowls has something to do with it.
I don't know. I don't have a professional scout opinion enough to answer that question.
Because I might be biased when I say it, but I personally think Lamar's the better quarterback out of the 3.
He's becoming a better. I don't know. Mahomes had a sort of an off year. I guess we'll see what happens.
See what happens in
with
the playoffs.
No Kelsey.
Yeah,
I don't know and they still won 15 games. So but
they're like ugly wins. They weren't even good wins. They were really ugly wins.
But Brady, man, that's what Brady did.
Yeah,
Brady just won.
Yeah,
didn't matter how. Mahomes can put up big counting stat numbers in a game, but like
Yeah.
he's obviously able to grind out games. So like that's actually a mark of something. That's why you can't just rely on the computers, Jason.
Hey, I'm a stats guy, okay?
I know you're a stats guy, and it's
I am
important,
a stats guy
but,
through
like,
and through.
Yeah, I know, but you can't. But it's you can't always just rely on the stats.
I'm also selling my Lamar Jackson rookie card right now, so it also is really pissing me off.
Promote it. Wait, is it on eBay right now? Is it at auction?
It's currently live on eBay. It's just his base.
Look it up.
It's the one that I bought in 2020 that I've been sitting on.
What's the title
it's just my
name?
own personal one. I'm looking to
drop the store name.
Get back some. Like, I know I'm gonna take an L. I know it's gonna be an L, but I bought it in the heydays of the card boom, man. I paid $40 for it raw, and then sent it to get graded. I think total investment was like $64.
9 or something.
It came back a 9, which I thought it was going to be a 10. I thought for sure it was gonna gem, and I got screwed. It came back a 9, and I've just been sitting on it now. I should have sold it last year, because when he won MVP, it jumped up to, I think one did sell for like $64 on auction. But I didn't pull the trigger on that, kept it. So now I sold it because I was thinking, hey, he's going to win MVP. And, they have a pretty good chance to, go far in the playoffs. So, but I'm selling it now before he even touches the playoffs, before he even go and play their game. So hopefully, we'll see what happens. If I can salvage some money back from it, whatever. It is what it is. It's just been sitting in a box. So, but I do want to move on, because there is a lot of, now that we're in the year 2025, a lot is going to be changing in the hobby. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it progresses throughout this year, because Panini, man, this might be the end of Panini, which, hey, whatever, it is what it is, I guess. They kind of, they really I don't know, like the lawsuit that you were talking about with them going through what's happening with Fanatics.
I need to try and look that up now, because I had no idea that was happening.
I mean, Panini is set to, I know by 2026, they're pretty much going to lose the license to print for almost every major professional sports out there. But I think this year, by the start of the 2025-2026 NBA season, they're no longer going to have the NBA license to print. By the end of the month, this month, January, WWE is already moving the tops. They're going to release a set. The UFC, I think, has already started with tops. And then by 2026, they're going to have the NFL license as well. So, and then also, where was it? I think Tops or Fanatics set a deal with the EPL as well. So they have a long-term trading card deal with the EPL as well, Eric.
Oh, so I might have it looks like, I think Panini is trying to sue Fanatics.
I wouldn't be surprised, because I know they went through a lawsuit with WWE as well. Because WWE I think WWE just pulled out of their contract or something like that. So, but that one was settled. I know that.
Yeah. Panini alleges that Fanatics is engaging in anti-competitive conduct through its acquisition of allegedly unprecedented long-term exclusive licensing deals with top professional leagues and players, NBA, MLB, NFL, its acquisition of Topps, and its rating of key Panini employee groups. So they took Panini people, which I think we speculated in the which wasn't obvious. I mean, or that was obvious, clearly. Like, why wouldn't you? You're like, oh crap! If I'm trying to stay in the card business, I got to get over to Fanatics.
Well, yeah, because you got to, from an employee standpoint, I'm assuming they got to be looking at Panini going, I don't know what is going to happen to this company come 2026. I mean, is Panini even going to be able to stay afloat? Like, what are you selling? You're losing NFL. You're losing the NBA. You never had you had baseball, but you were doing the unlicensed stuff for baseball anyways. But that wasn't making you any money. Now you're no longer doing EPL. You're no longer doing WWE. You no longer have the UFC. So and the NHL is in a long-term agreement with Upper Deck. So who do you have? Like, I mean, are they going to try to get into? I
I
mean,
have no idea.
and Marvel now is with Tops. So it's like you can't even like dip into like, any type of like superheroes or anything like that. So I have no idea what's going to happen to Panini, but I want to kind of speculate it, and I want to get your guys' opinion on, just the future of the hobby coming up in 2025, and what is this all going to mean now, and how do you think the cards are going to turn out this year once Top starts being able to print actual license? Because Eric, I think it was either you or John that brought up about how you said the Topps Chrome cards for basketball were like ugly. You didn't. I don't think you cared for
Oh
them. I
God,
don't know
yeah,
if that
those
was
were.
you or
Oh
if that was
God,
you or
they were.
John that brought that
Oh,
up.
they were so bad. Yeah, I bought the. Is that what that was? I can't even remember. It was so bad. I just eliminated it from my card memory. Yeah,
Yeah.
they looked like cards that I would get in the TCG simulator video game I play. Like they weren't good looking cards at all.
Yeah.
And I think it was just because they were unlicensed, and it just, I don't know, maybe the Bowman cards always sort of look better to me in general, so the unlicensed Bowman U cards weren't as revolting to me, but ooh, that Topps Chrome basketball whatever. Oof.
Yeah.
Gross. They were gross. They didn't like the way they looked at all. So I'm hoping that the license, they bring it back. They like take some cues from when they had it way back in the day. So
Especially for football, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Topps like Chrome cards for football were sweet.
yeah,
Like those were really cool cards. I really need a Mike Evans rookie card because his is in the top. He's got a Topps Chrome one, I believe. I believe he's got Topps Chrome, and those are really cool cards to have. Yeah, I just don't know what's gonna happen with Panini now that once they lose all this license. And I mean, you know what? Have you seen any of the new WWE cards that are going to be coming out? I think it's January 31st that they're releasing their first Topps Chrome set. Like some of these, The Rock has an autograph in it,
Oh,
and
that'll be
he
good.
signed it. He signed it, Rock, and then it says "Smell it," and it just says "Smell it?" question mark. And that one, at least that one's what's pictured is an out of
big money.
25 orange. Oh yeah, and he hasn't signed cards. It's been a long time, and there are not many cards out there. I think some of them are only like in like leaf sets or something, which like nobody buys of that.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that he's got autos, CM Punk's gonna have autos in it. Of course, they're gonna have Hall of Fame ones. Shawn Michaels.
Okay, let's get to the important people. Bubba Ray, Devon.
Are they? I don't think they're gonna be in it.
Oh, I was hoping that you knew that information.
No, I don't think they're going to be in it because I don't think they're. I mean, they might,
this set's
maybe.
garbage.
I don't know if they. I would have to look up the set.
If
I
they're
know
not
Rhea
in it, it's
Ripley.
garbage.
Rhea Ripley's she's gonna have autos, so it's gonna be really. I actually, honestly, if I see this
Rhea,
on the shelves,
Ripley. What about Trish Stratus?
what the hell is the matter with you, Rhea?
Trish Stratus, bro. Stacy Keebler, bro.
Rhea
Tori
Ripley
Wilson,
right
bro.
now.
Get
I
out
mean,
of
if
here.
they all
Get
had-
out
I'm-
of here, man.
Alright,
You
I
don't
gotta
even
look
know.
up this,
You don't even know. You don't even know.
Let me see if I could pull it up the set, but I honestly, if I go to Targets, and I see it on the shelves, I think I'm gonna rip them for sure. Like I think I will rip them because these cards are really really cool.
Is there Stone Cold in there? I'll rip it for Stone Cold.
I'm guessing so. Did you see so Raw just had their Netflix
thing on
one.
Netflix. Yeah.
Did you see how they brought out Hulk Hogan and the crowd booed him?
Yeah, booed the shit out of him.
Yeah,
good for that.
I don't know why. I've been really out of watching wrestling, which I really have to get back into it. But
I have a feeling it has nothing to do with his wrestling.
No, I think it's got some. I think he's like a competitor. I think he's still with AEW, or he was supporting AEW, I believe, or I think he was with the competitor. He's got some beer out now too. I don't.
Yeah, they just signed him his beer to be a sponsor for the WWE.
Oh, there you go.
So
There you go. But all right, going back to the Panini stuff, Luke, I want to get your thoughts on what you think's gonna happen with Panini and how you think the rest of this year is gonna play out. All right, let me ask you this: do you think more people are gonna be buying into Panini cards now because they know they're gonna lose the license? Like, is this now going to be very sought after
I
cards
mean,
this year?
if there was
Because
brand loyalty,
because now
if there was
Panini's
brand
done.
loyalty to Panini, then maybe people would be more motivated to buy. But are there people like that? I don't know. But when you guys were talking about
I don't
wrestling, I
think
was
so.
trying to find like any financial information on Panini, and I can't because I would just want to know how much of an impact that would be to them. Because if they're losing the license to, did you say every sport that they hold the license to, they're losing, or pretty
Pretty
much,
much,
yeah.
like
yeah.
within the next 2
Yeah,
years,
I
it
don't think
seems
they're
like.
gonna. I mean, yeah, I don't think they're going to have the license
So
to anything.
according to their website, they have 7 main business areas. Their collectibles, publishing, distribution, licensing. I think licensing would fit into. I haven't read about any of these, but licensing might fit into like the sports cards and stuff. Maybe also collectibles. And I have no idea what their distribution of revenue is across those 7 business areas. But I mean, it's going to be. I would imagine it would be a material hit. But it would be nice to see some numbers next to it, just because then you can measure how much it would hurt them.
I mean, from my personal perspective, I feel like you're going to be done. Like, who's going to how are they going to generate a revenue
Well,
stream?
they do other stuff.
Like, where's money going to be coming
They
in?
don't only produce trading cards.
But that has to be, or at least probably since I'm guessing since 2020, that has to be probably the bulk of their business in the last few years has
I think
to
that's
be
what
trading
Luke was
cards.
trying to
probably
figure out.
Oh, I got
it's probably
I got you. I
a
got you.
good
Yeah.
educated guess. But of course, like we have a bias because that's all we see from that company. Maybe they do other stuff and they have other customers in a different space. Who knows? Not us.
Yeah, clearly not
Yeah,
us.
But I would imagine
Well,
losing business is bad. So, and in the way that it's happening, it seems.
Especially if it's a whole business unit, that's bad. Like,
yeah.
if they still have 6 or 5 other like business units, but they're losing a whole business unit, that's bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting, and here we're seeing kind of a monopoly from like Fanatics and Tops now
That's
too.
basically what the lawsuit is about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how like Upper Deck just sits back and is like Upper Deck's just like chilling. Upper Deck's like, hey, man, we're
like
good with
15
hockey, and
people
that's it.
working
Yeah.
there, and they're like, yeah, it's enough. We're busy.
Like,
we're busy
have the hockey
sometimes,
market
and then we're
cornered,
not. So it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
But I wonder
that's a
if
great- I
eventually
don't
at
know
some
what
point down the road, like Fanatics has to be looking at hockey too, going like, hey, once that contract's done, like let's jump on NHL and try to get them over too.
Versus just buying Upper Deck, it's probably cheaper just to buy the license.
Well, Upper Deck also has AEW, but I mean AEW is just tanking. I mean, in my personal opinion, it's tanking as a company. So I don't think they're making like any money off of AEW right now and printing cards. I don't even know if they even still print out cards for them. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens for Panini. I personally think that too. Like Luke was saying, like if Panini has like a hardcore following and they have people that are loyal to the company, yeah, you could see a lot of people buying up. A lot of people might be buying a Panini right now and not opening the boxes. They could just end up stacking up Panini hobby boxes,
that's probably like
setting them aside, and and letting them just accrue value over time, because now, like, hey, I have the last and final set
Licensed.
of licensed basketball Panini.
Yeah.
Or I have the last, licensed set of football, and I'm just gonna keep it, and hopefully one day, someone's gonna
But
be
I
like,
think
hey,
you're probably
I
still
want.
reliant on a player in that set being good, because I just don't know how many diehards there are. Because who's
Well, like
just
Wemby. Okay,
search
so if
for
Wemby takes off, Wemby becomes an MVP or a multi-time
yeah,
MVP.
well, as long as Wemby doesn't have to play Kobe White, he's fine. So
That's right.
that's right.
That's right. Posterized.
That's right.
Yeah, move
Shout
away,
out,
Wemby.
shout out to all of our listeners in San Antonio.
Yeah, true. Sorry, your boy got dunked on.
Yeah, absolutely postered.
But it could be true that if say Wemby does become a multi-time MVP, and that, for even though he doesn't have autos in that Prism set, that's his first print in the Spurs uniform.
Is he
It
going to
could
have
be
autos
smart.
this year, or no? Did he sign with Fanatics or something?
Yeah, he's with Fanatics. So when that Topps Chrome basketball set came out,
Oh,
he has autos.
and that's why
that was his
it.
first autos.
See, I just totally, because I was like, this set is so ugly.
Well, because he had that Topps Mercury set come out too,
Yeah.
which that set was all dedicated just to him. So he had autos in that,
Mm.
and then Topps Chrome came out. So those were his first true rookie autos. Even though it's not his first true rookie, but at least his rookie autos. But I think so. I think you could set boxes aside with Wemby in them, or packs, or whatever, and I'll bet you they will accrue value over time, just because you can't get the Panini product anymore. It's going to be like how I buy my junk wax. I got to go on specific websites and probably way overpay for a box of junk wax, just so I can open up cards that were 50 cents back in
I don't
the
think
day.
any customers are losing sleep over this, though. Do you guys care that Panini's going to lose the license?
No,
Not for my set, but if you have...
What set do I buy my guy's rookie card in? Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of typing Panini, they type Topps or Bowman, so...
it'll be interesting to
see.
see. It might affect breakers more. It might affect breakers more, because I know breakers, I think Backyard Breaks had a deal, or had something going on with Panini. They had a deal with that product just came in. So I don't know if Backyard Breaks.
Them.
But I'm just saying, it could end up affecting breakers like them, who had deals in place with Panini, but now Panini's no longer they're not going to want if Panini continues to do it, which they still can, they'll just print unlicensed product like they do with baseball. But no one's going to be buying into that. Nobody buys into Prism baseball or anything like that.
There's whole columns of Prism baseball mega boxes at Target.
Yeah, no one's buying into that because it's unlicensed. So Panini, they could still do that, which I'm assuming probably for the first year they'll probably still do that. But then you can't be printing. You're not going to be printing autos or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know what the antitrust, anti-monopoly thing laws. Trading cards are not necessities. So does anybody really have a monopoly? Kiwi has a monopoly of shoe polish. Shoe polish is not a necessity, so nobody really gives a shit. So, crap.
Yeah, hey, John's not on the pod anymore, man. We can make this explicit now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's swear. Papa's gone.
But yeah, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like Luke, I don't think anybody really is losing sleep over it, but it is an interesting thing to think about, because for so long Panini was, honestly, right, for the last kind of couple years, Panini was the number one in I guess, if you could say that, in cards. Because if you could be selling hobby boxes for $1,000 plus,
yeah, I think it was sport too. It was definitely
they had the two best. Well, I guess that's personal opinion too, but they had the two best sports in the hobby which
They
was
had the
football
two
and
best
basketball.
sports for what you were just like talking about, like for resale and stuff like that.
Wait, that's that you actually said something that piqued my curiosity, Jason. So you think having
Oh,
basketball, so as a manufacturer, having basketball and football is better? I assumed the baseball would be the. No.
No, honestly. So
you can
back,
make so much more money. Just like it just seems like
yeah,
football,
basketball was
especially.
the one. Yeah,
Oh,
basketball was the
basketball.
one back in like 2020, 2021, 2022. Basketball. That was, obviously people were buying up heavily into like Luca and all of them. But now, like football, it's all about football, which is funny because it's all about just the quarterbacks. That's all people care about. Like it's all hobbyists care about, truthfully, is the quarterbacks when it comes to football. But I mean, everybody's chasing downtowns, everyone's
And it's
chasing,
crazy
kabooms, and
that like when I just ripped that Bowman U and like they're like printing Will Campbell lineman cards, and then like we used to joke about that. It's like, dude, I'm not buying into one of those $1,000 boxes and pulling like an lineman auto. Are they gonna start doing like lineman
probably.
autos? Because like, but like you said, people only care about the quarterbacks. So like,
Yeah, it's the unfortunate part about when you're buying into football, you're really limiting your opportunity to resell. And that's
yeah,
honestly, it's just, unless you have
unless you
a
pull a
Justin Jefferson
banger.
type. Yeah, unless
Oh
you have a
yeah,
Justin
or like
Jefferson
yeah.
type wide receiver where you can make money off of it, or like, Sauce Gardner, he was a good pull at the time
Does
when,
anybody care
when
about
his,
Jamar
first
Chase's
prints
cards
came
right
out.
now? Like he just
Honestly,
won
that's
the
a good
Triple
question
Crown.
that I
You
feel
know,
like
like he
they
just won the
should.
Triple Crown, but they're not in the playoffs.
What's
So
the
like,
what's
what
the
does
receiving
is
triple crown? Yards, touchdowns, and
t- t-
catches.
receptions? Yeah,
Dang! Wow.
Who was the last one to do that? Michael Thomas or Antonio
wasn't it
Brown? Probably
Cup?
something.
Didn't Cup just do it
Oh,
recently
like
Oh,
2 years ago
before
or
he's
really?
something?
Oh, I don't know.
before his knee
Oh,
exploded or whatever? Was it not?
maybe.
Did Cup not do that?
I don't know.
Maybe he
I
could
just
have.
I just
Actually,
learned
that
about
I
this
don't know either.
from you right now.
Let's look up Jamar
Oh,
Chase.
that's a good
Let's see
question.
where
If
he's
I had
at.
to guess,
Yeah, well, Jamar Chase had one. He had a Prism, a red Prism, PSA 10 rookie card, sell on January 5th for $401.
oh, that's pretty good for
Damn.
a wide receiver. That's like just a base, like what, cracked ice or whatever.
Yeah, his red, white, and blue Prism rookie in a PSA 10, $94. That's not bad.
Oh, that's
Oh, so
okay.
here you go. So he had a what was this? This was 2021. One of his downtowns, his Donruss Optic downtown PSA 10 sold on January 5th for $1,185
But
for
that's like a
Jamar
case
Chase.
hit, so I don't know how much.
That is, but like,
I don't
but
know how
that
much the
that's still
case
for a
hits.
wide receiver. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. He had a blue cracked ice out of 99 Prism rookie card, PSA 10, sell on December 29th for $504. So yeah, there's value to be made. I
Yeah, I
guess
guess if you just get the right, if you get the
like
right,
looking,
really
yeah.
skilled guy.
But that's the thing when you're again when we're going back into like football cards, if you're trying to try to make money off of like wide receivers, running backs, you really kind of need to have those case hits for them. Because then it's like the base ones are just going to be tough. Like if you're buying into a $1,200 box and you're not going to hit any of the big quarterbacks,
Oh yeah, right.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
that's tough.
if your buy-in is that high, then yeah, you definitely got.
Yeah, it's a tough
Definitely
it's a
need to get
tough
a case
resell
hit.
for football. But it's the number one right now, man. Brody Smith. Luke, did you watch the video I said that Brody Smith hit that and hit one of his bricks that the Caleb Gold out of 10.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
That was cool.
That was huge.
Did you guys see that Emma Roberts is like a huge card collector? The actress.
Really?
Yeah, she hit the Jackson Holiday 1 of 1, or hit a Jackson Holiday 1 of 1.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh, of course. Cool. I love competing with people with that much money. It's so much fun.
Sounds like our next podcast.
That sounds like so much fun for me.
Let's get her on the pod.
Yeah, we should. We can just DM
This
her.
is your formal
Right.
invitation.
We'll just DM
Come on
her.
our podcast.
She'll definitely get back to us, just like Ryan Sloan got back to us, which he didn't. So, like, no problem.
Speaking of Brody Smith, though, we should one of these episodes we should talk about card collecting for any of the fringe sports or fringe. I don't know what you would call it, like brands, like Star Wars cards or Cabbage Patch Kids cards, like that type of stuff.
Oh, you mean like the garbage pail or whatever they're called?
Oh, Lorcana? Dude, Lorcana, dude.
Lorcana. It's going to take over the new
Pokemon. We can talk about that.
Pokemon.
I haven't.
Honestly,
I have a couple,
some Lorcana
I have a couple
cards
arm wrestling cards, so I can talk about that for 2 minutes and get all excited about
You
it.
have, Devin,
Larrett.
what's his last name?
Yeah.
Devin
Oh
Larrett.
my
Yeah,
god,
he's awesome.
Jesus, here we go.
Does Schoolboy have a card?
Schoolboy Q?
No.
The rapper?
No, I haven't seen any Schoolboy cards. He's not. He's like not one of the top arm wrestlers, and even if you are, it's like tough to find that any cards of guys that are in those fringe sports. Like, so take Brody Smith for example. He plays disc golf. It's hard. There are disc golf cards out there, like formalized disc golf cards. I forget who the maker is, but one of the companies, Leaf, that makes some of like the packs that have combined sports in them sometimes have disc golf cards in them, but they only have like one guy, so there's not a lot out there. So no Schoolboy cards, not a lot of disc golf cards yet. I got to get my brother on here because he's got a lot of Ricky Wysocki cards. Another disc golfer.
Brody Smith has like disc golf cards.
Yeah.
He sets the market.
Like Brody's got some pretty cool like disc golf cards on here, and we saw him at the National.
Yeah, it's cool.
That was cool. That was really cool because I think that was just I see I don't know why somebody graded it in CSG. I don't think that's CSG. There's a graded Brody Smith CSG 9, Luke.
No.
$33.60.
Oh.
You can buy it. You can buy it, Luke. Oh, is this GMA? Nah, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine?
Oh, you'd be all over it.
Could you imagine that? But yeah, no, that would be a fun topic to talk about. Like, I don't know anything about any of the fringe sports or like anything like. I mean, the most maybe fringe I look at is like I was looking at Marvel. I watched all the Avengers, and of course, right on eBay, looking at like Star-Lord cards on, trying to buy some graded Marvel cards.
There's tons of stuff out there.
Yeah. Oh, I've been also looking at a lot of graded comics. Like there are certain comics that I want in a graded slab. So eventually one day I'll end up having some graded comics too, because there's some really cool ones out there. But I think that's a good stopping point. I do. Man, I'm gonna end up. John usually is the one that takes it away and ends the podcast.
I'll do it.
So I usually just sit back.
No, Jason, go for it.
Luke, Luke,
Jason,
go ahead, man.
Yeah, Luke, close us out.
No,
bro.
Luke,
you've
heard
close
it
us
too many
out.
times from John. No, not too many, but like plenty of times from John, and I think we got a lot.
No, I'm gonna end up butchering
practice,
it.
So go for it.
Come on, people know already. Follow us, whatever.
There you go. Yeah, Eric, take it away. Take it away, Eric. You got it.
Subscribe. I don't know. I hate asking people to do this. Whatever.
Yeah, but
if
that's
you're
the
listening,
thing,
you're already doing all this, is my guess.
Hopefully you are subscribed.
Yeah.
We are actually going up on YouTube. We are getting more subscribers. We've been trying to use the YouTube channel a lot
Nice.
more.
What are we up to? Like 10?
45.
Oh,
Nice.
dang. That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Dope.
We're up
other
to
number,
45.
so-
Let's get us to 50 here, folks. 50 followers. That would be sick.
Yeah. That would be, but like I said, we are going
Minus,
to try to keep our
25 friends and family that are probably the ones following.
Well, John probably has like 40 like burner
That's
accounts.
what I mean. He's got like he's got like a bunch. He's like forcing
all our
the
views come
Actually,
from
forcing
John's
all the
playing.
types at work
the
to
math makes
follow
sense.
us.
It's 40 burner accounts plus him and then us three. Yeah,
And then us.
Yeah, and then us three.
and then
That's
our
it.
official jelly account.
There it
so,
is.
Like, it was the 45.
All right, so if we could just get one friend, that would be dope. That would be sick.
Hey, we did. John sent the screenshot. I mean, we have actually had people reach out to us and say that they enjoy the podcast and they enjoy what we've what
well,
we
I
do
can't
talk
wait
about.
to disappoint them because that was with you and John. So
It's not a disappointment. This was a great episode. Honestly, if you guys are enjoying our topics, please like, subscribe on YouTube. We are trying to use the YouTube channel a lot more. I know John is big on he wants more ratings on Spotify and
Gotta
Apple.
always
So
make John
again,
happy.
please make John happy and give us ratings on
whatever.
Spotify
He's
and Apple. You can follow us. We have Instagram. John, I know John's big on the Twitter for us. We still have a Facebook page. I got rid of our TikTok. We don't have that anymore. So we're just on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
like true millennials.
Yeah. Trying to make. I got to get back to like making content too. I've been really
Yeah, we gotta
slacking.
get a MySpace, dude.
Hey, Friendster.
Yeah, Friendster, Zanga, all those.
We're gonna get
All
an AOL instant messaging.
Don't play
So
like
we can
that.
just sit at the
I'll
computer for hours.
I'll do a whole episode just on AIM. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, thank you for listening to the episode. Again, please rate our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We hope you guys have an amazing week and an amazing week. See, I told you. I was going to butcher it. It's an amazing weekend, an amazing week ahead. And as always, keep spreading the love of your hobby. See, I'm butchering. I can't do the ending.
You're doing great. Awesome.
There
with
you
the
go.
balloons.
Look
There
at
you
Luke.
go. See, I don't even know how to do that. That's great.
Yeah. All right. Keep spreading the love of the
Okay.
hobby.
All right.
Your friends at Jelly Cards.